And finally, there is Manuela Carrasco. I've seen her dance what many people call that same old soleá at least 50 times, sometimes perfectly, sometimes not. I hope to see it 50 times more, like Beethoven's Fifth. It is immortal and ever-changing, eternal. I don't know what Soledad Barrios thinks of Manuela and her soleá, but a 2009 New York Times piece about Soledad Barrios and her wonderful husband, choreographer Martin Santangelo, by Julie Bloom, this one, said of her soleá, that is of Soledad Barrios' soleá, though she's danced it many times, she continues to find new meaning in her work. Quote, to understand and know the soleá, she said, is like knowing your husband or yourself. You need years and years and years and years. The dancers I most love, she continued, dance the same dance for 30 years, and I like seeing them because I like to see something done well and something really true, with great weight and history. I'd rather have a good, well-made oak table than 20 IKEA tables. We fight about this art a lot because we love it. I spend time with the postmodernist deconstructionists. They ask me for information, and over tapas, we agree to disagree. Some years ago at a conference here, I was arguing with one of the key people in the flamenco world, Jose Luis Ortiz Nuevo. I asked him why he changed his mind, why he had gone over to the dark side, and he told me. He told me in the audience, and he knew what was coming. And afterwards, he was kind enough to ask me to write a petition, the American petition, contribution to the petition to UNESCO, to have the art declared an intangible cultural patrimony of humanity, and that status was granted last November. But I'm aware of the fact that the other side would criticize me for misleading you. They would tell you that I'm looking for 6 old people, and really flamenco is right here at the joist. That there's not necessarily something better about gypsy families than well-disciplined academy graduates. They would say there's still plenty of room for evolution, and yet my favorite dance criticism is one I've seen on several occasions by great artists over the years, and most recently by the greatest guitar accompanist there is, Juan Habichuela. At the end of a long interview, mostly about the guitar, they got around to asking about dancers, and Juan Habichuela said, I saw Farruko dance. And the interviewer said, yes, and what other dancers would you single out? And Juan Habichuela said, I saw Farruko dance. And the interviewer said, yes, but. And Juan Habichuela said, I saw Farruko dance. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this talk has left you as confused about flamenco as I am, and that some of you will remain to debunk some of my egregious misstatements, biases, and self-contradictions, and discuss this amazing art. And I hope to see some of you in Colmao or in Seville or any place in Spain. And I would like to, if we could go to the of tape 5 and roll that, we would again see Farruko dance. Not in the series I got, but a formal thing. Well, I got it, right, but it was incidental. This is the other greatest singer who ever lived. This is the great El Chocolate, the embodiment of deep song, along with the one we saw do the solo Sigurd. They're both great. Chocolate is gone. Faruko where he learned to dance. He said, I was in a caravan. I just watched the horses. He always struck me as a centaur, half something, I don't know. I have a focus on cante and of course and song. I was reading an interview some years ago, not long ago, with the great Manuela Carrasco, the dancer who we mentioned before, with her Same Old Soleil. And they said, what's happened lately? She said, well, I finally got up the nerve to call El Chocolate, the great master of black space and deep soul. I wanted to dance with him while it was still possible. And I approached him and he very generously said yes. And I was afraid. And it worked very well in New York. It was beautiful. I saw this. It was wonderful. She said, but in London and Paris, wherever. She said, what happened was what I was afraid of. I was listening to him, and I started to cry, and I could not dance. And I gave this little rap a few years ago somewhere in New York, and I ended it by saying, that's a great dancer. And a critic, Madeline, said, no, Mr. Zern, that's respect. It's both. I stood correctly. I mean, a great dancer doesn't prove it by not dancing. But there it was, the idea that dance comes from song, and that without that, it's problematic. And that with it, if the song is intense enough, if the singer is behind who should be in front, they have words atrás, adelante. If a singer who should be in the spotlight is not in it, it can create paradoxes, and that was what happened to the great Manuela Padrón de Dios. If we could cue one of the there's a disc. It's disc 9. It's got a 9 on it. And if we could go to the first cut and see what happens